Welcome to the Everyday Black Man Podcast. We got Enrique as well as Dupree from In the Lounge Podcast. And standing in for Armstead, we have our boy, the writer, who has decided to ride on in. It's going to be a great podcast. And we will continue to much ado, depending on how they decide to cut this. But since we've covered relationships in a way that definitely started the podcast a little bit spicy, so cooling off a little bit. This is a weird question, but would you go out and protest in the rain?
I don't
100%.
protest when it's not raining. You talking about during COVID season or just rain in general?
During COVID season.
Oh, nigga, I'm not protesting regardless. See, that's what we have young people for. See, what y'all don't understand is protest is for the protest is for your youth.
Wow.
Anybody over 30 who out there, like, I'm with you, but I'm with you in more of like internet posts that I post randomly. All right.
I mean, I'm supporting people financially. Like, I'm doing my part. I can't go out there, but I can earn some money and I can give a portion back to all the community, helping feed the protesters, helping get them out of jail. But yeah, I'm not protesting in the rain. I'm sorry.
So y'all doing the behind the scenes work, basically.
Exactly. I do behind the scenes work. I mean,
yeah, he does.
Oh, damn.
Reed said, "Look, man, I'm just gonna be real with you.
I'm just gonna be 100% with you."
I respect his honesty.
Yeah, they fighting for me. You know, I get it.
I mean, we can't all do the same thing. Okay,
yeah, you're right.
We are glad that you out there protesting the ring. Enrique, what you gonna do? You gonna just spread awareness on Facebook?
My Facebook picture black right now. I'm telling you, I'm doing the work.
Oh my God.
He said, I just got you my picture black.
And think your picture is not black right now. Although it would have been slick if you, it would have been slick if you just had done it so that you could say that for real.
I changed it a couple weeks ago. Yeah,
I'm about to show these niggas.
Yeah. I got a black picture. Yeah,
it's all black. This square is all black.
This gonna change the world.
It's gonna completely change everything. We thought we was good.
Yeah.
But we ain't that good. We really good now that I got this black picture.
Yeah, they about to make legislation because of R. Reed right now.
Exactly. R. Reed is going to get the bill passed.
I'm socially aware because I feel like they're focused on things that don't matter. Like, don't get me wrong, the statues and shit matter because, you know, whatever. But what I'm saying is we need actual things of tangible moves as far as helping us on a, like, black and brown people, like fiscally. That's what matters to me. We need our silver rights, not our civil rights, because I don't think you can be given those. They usually have to be taken.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, or you got to burn enough shit down, and then all of a sudden people are like, hey, man, what civil rights bill y'all want? But they never talk about your civil rights because then it's like the piece of America that you actually own.
Yeah, that's why I'm a Bernie guy or a Kanye guy now.
Hold up. You said you're a Kanye guy.
I was a Bernie guy. I was a Yang guy. Then I switched to Bernie. Then I switched to Kanye because he made college dropout. I'm just saying, has Joe Biden made college dropout? No.
Oh my God.
You go with
I can't do it.
You can say a lot, but when's the last time you seen them do 60 points in their last game? All right. Let me know when that happens, and then we'll have a conversation.
Correct. Kanye West made college dropout. Okay, I'm just saying, like, y'all niggas tripping.
Reed needs his own shot.
Nigga, you tripping.
Reed needs his own fucking shot.
Did Joe Biden make college dropout? I'm just saying.
No, Joe Biden did not make college dropout.
Oh, you know what he made? The crime bill. Fuck that dude.
Listen, okay, you know what? This is important because this is going to go up on our stream too. And we talk politics all the time to our audience. So I see what you're saying, right? Like that was funny. And it's actually like a solid thing, what you said about the crime bill about Joe Biden, right? But in all seriousness, for our listeners in the lounge, when you hear this, y'all heard what he said. Laugh at it, but I still need you to go out and vote for Joe Biden, okay? Because
hell no.
At the end of the day,
I'm really not voting.
Anything's better than Trump. Anything is better than Trump.
True.
Oh my God, what do you mean? Is it like? Please tell me how it's not better than Trump.
Because
at the end of the day, at least you know
Trump doesn't lie to me. I know he's not gonna do shit. Joe Biden is gonna lie to you.
How does he not lie? Everything he says is a fucking lie. Are you serious?
No, what I'm saying to you right now is Joe Biden is gonna lie to your face. Donald Trump is not gonna promise you a goddamn thing because you ain't getting a goddamn thing. And I can agree with that. They're both lying. It's just
Do
how
you
they lie.
mean he's not going to promise you something as a black and brown person, or as a
Correct.
person in general?
Black and brown person. Person in general, they'll keep lying about this wall. They'll keep lying about healthcare. They're not going to address any of those things. Even Joe Biden's not going to do anything about the police. He actually wants to send them more money. I'm just not into it. I don't believe Joe Biden is the guy. And we don't see enough of him to believe that he's going to do anything because he's basement Joe right now. But I'm telling you, nothing's going to fundamentally change. And he said that. Nothing's going to fundamentally change. You'll just have a nicer guy up there and he'll do whatever. I don't even know what he's going to do because he has no legislation. Well, he does now, of course. But
Oh,
I'm
he
saying
just
no.
came out with a bunch of legislation that he plans on
Correct. I said he does
putting
now.
through Congress. Yeah.
But how much of you think, like his first 90 days is usually where something gets done? What's the biggest thing that they've said they want to do?
The universal pre-K and childcare. Like, that would take a tremendous burden off of families and people that are working if you don't have to shell out between $800 and $1,500 a month so your kid can be taken care of while you're earning a living. That's huge. We can talk about bolstering up the healthcare.
He's
We're
lying.
going to agree to disagree.
Okay, I'm in the state of Georgia. We had a universal program.
Well, listen, hold on.
Okay.
You're in the state of Georgia.
Correct.
Everything going on there is fuck shit anyway, because your governor isn't really your governor. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy.
He won. It is what it is.
And then the voting shit they did not too long ago with you guys, like, you're going to close all these polling stations, and the ones that are open, people are waiting in line for 6 hours, and then you're saying that the machines don't work? That's systematic and fundamental racism.
What I'm saying to you is you fight things that we cannot fight anymore. We have to fight things that are real. Georgia had a universal child care and healthcare system, right? And ever since they put it up there, they have systematically dismantled it from the beginning. It was funded by the Hope Scholarship. We had pre-K. I think my daughter was in that pre-K program. Right? And those kids have to do a lottery system in order to get in it. Everybody I know who's ever done it got in it. So that's neither here nor there. I don't even know why the lottery exists, unless y'all know somebody who kid didn't get in the pre-K program. And statistically, it's proven that the pre-K program doesn't make your kid smarter. I'm just being honest with you. You can look it up. Pre-K does not help you. It is not going to make you better, a smarter kid. What I'm saying is, still do it. I'm with you. Still do it. But in the end, I guarantee they won't do it. But they're going to have the House and the Senate. I don't believe in Joe Biden. I do not believe in Joe Biden.
It's possible that they could get the Senate. And so that's what changed.
They're going to get the Senate. They already have the House. They're going to get the Senate.
Yeah, they got the House. But
I'm really, like, I'm a history nerd. I really study politics. Listen, the Democrats are going to lose Alabama. That Doug Jones shit is a once in a generation thing. They're going to lose Alabama, right? They're going to take Colorado, and they're going to take Arizona.
I think they're going to lose Colorado, but take Arizona. But continue.
Also, they could end up taking Susan Collins' seat up there.
If they do, then they'll be fine. No, Susan Collins is pretty hated. Like the main.
She's been hated for a long time.
No. I mean like real hate.
After that Kavanaugh shit, it's like, hey, listen, something's got to change here. And then actually in Georgia, that Loeffler lady, like, she might get the fuck up out the paint too.
Kavanaugh. That whole Kavanaugh thing is a lie because, again, warrior they had on Joe Biden and this lady, her whole bullshit, whatever she was doing. What happened to her, by the way? She disappeared. They was accusing Joe Biden.
It came out that it was disproven. Like, she made some statement about, like, oh, you can talk about my husband, because in our divorce filings, I mentioned this, and the husband said something along the lines of, like, hey, like, this never was mentioned to me. It's not in our divorce filing.
No. Her husband
I want to stay on.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to look that up. But I want to stay on task here, right? So you said something, and this is important for our listeners. This is why I like collaborating with other people. You just said to me, you got to fight the battles that are still out there, but, like, we got to deal with the shit that's happening right here that's affecting us, right? Like, that's the biggest thing about America. Like, there's stuff going on in Georgia that is closer to your heart and what's on your mind affects your everyday life than I know, because I'm not in Georgia, right? I'm up in the north.
Yeah, I agree.
The shit
I'm not
happening in
telling
New Jersey.
people not to vote. Pause. We're going to make sure everybody say, I'm telling you to vote, but I'm not going to ever tell you to vote for Joe Biden or Trump. If that's your choice. That's the thing I think we get wrong. I think we should just tell people to vote because it's their responsibility and make a good decision. Of the two, I would honestly tell you Joe Biden's better, but he's not getting my vote.
Okay. I agree with you there. That makes sense, right? Like, yes. Do I go on our platform and tell people to vote for Joe Biden? Yeah, that's selfish of me, but it's like, I don't give a fuck because it's better than Trump. And so here's the thing, right? Like, do I think that Joe Biden is the best option that God's ever put on earth to lead us out of the fuck shit that's happened the past 4 years? No. he's better than continuing what's been happening in the past 4 years. And that's just my humble opinion. I don't think he's one of the greatest men this country's ever produced. I don't think that he's a president that could come in like Obama came in 08 and was like, hey, the auto industry's failing. Unemployment's at a record high. The highest levels we've seen since the Great Depression. How do you fix this, Barry? You're first black president. Let's give you a hand clap. All right, so let's get to work. I don't think Joe Biden's going to be able to do that to that
I'm not
level.
an Obama guy either, though, so that's neither here nor there.
I don't know how much time y'all want to spend on politics, but if you want to say you're not a Barry fan, I would love to hear why.
I believe the black constituency got him elected, right? Black and brown.
Are you asking me, or are you just saying that?
Do you agree?
I think that black and white women got him elected.
Okay. What did he do? And who got Trump elected?
White women.
We agree. All right. And what did he run on, right? Let's say he ran on his wall, and what else he ran on? Tax cuts, right?
Right.
The thing that disappointed me most about Barack, when he ran, I remember him talking about healthcare, right?
Yes.
And he said he was going to do a public option. I've never, ever forgiven him for that. It wasn't even mentioned. And that pissed me off because I voted for him both times. Mitt Romney, I don't like Mitt Romney. But Obama.
You know what?
Go ahead.
You're the public. I want to get to that because that's more important. But what you said about Mitt Romney, did not like him in the moment. I like him now because he's the only one of those pussies that stand up to Trump.
Go look at what he said last week about I think it's called the First Act. Now they're trying to fuck with Social Security to do this COVID relief bill. Fuck Mitt Romney.
Oh, they're trying to take away people's Social Security.
Yeah. They wanted to basically. Well, they're not taking it away. What they're doing is they're forcing you to delay it if you end up getting some money out. The problem with that is you're telling people who in the future are likely going to be elderly and sicker that, hey, remember that 2020? Remember how you were struggling and shit was going really bad for you and you need that money? Well, guess what? The Pied Piper's here and you have to delay your Social Security for, I think it's 3 years? But that 3 years could be life and death for people. So you're essentially basically telling people who are elderly, hey, the tax bill's due. Sorry about whatever your current situation is, but you signed the bill, you signed the line, you're fucked.
So y'all are in your 30s, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're in our 20s. Either way, everybody on this podcast, we ain't never gonna be able to fucking retire anyway. Retire, but we ain't never gonna be able to get Social Security is what I mean. You're gonna retire.
I think it'll be around.
Your Social Security will not be around.
I think we always say that, but I think the country is leaning towards a more populist direction, and I think if that happens, we'll be okay. Because I would describe myself as being a left-leaning, fiscally populist, right-leaning, right-leaning, fiscally populist person, but a left-leaning social person. So I think
you sound like Tiger Woods talking about his race right now.
No. When it comes to fiscal issues,
I know.
Yeah, when it comes to fiscal issues, I'm more like radical. I don't give a fuck. Fuck it all. Let's do the system. But when it comes to left stuff, like the whole, I ain't trying to call out one specific issue. It's just the one that comes to my head. When you talking about your kids going to a school and then a kid's like 7 years old talking about I'm a transgender person, I'm like, he's 7 fucking years old. Like, no, I don't want to hear that shit. But that will ruffle somebody's feathers. But I'm just like, he's 7 years old. He don't know anything about sex. Like, get that shit out my face. And a lot of people nowadays are like, let him be who he want to be. I'm just like, he don't know who the fuck he is, period. But, and they'll say I'm more left-leaning. I'm just like, that's where I stand. But, like, people are like, politically, Nina Turner, Bernie Sanders, hell, Andrew Yang, those people, like, they're more populist. They're doing stuff for us. I believe Joe Biden's going to sell us out to China and won't think twice about it. And
that's a very interesting take.
I really believe that.
It's definitely possible.
And you know what? The way I feel about it for our listeners in the lounge, I'm willing to take that chance because I'm not doing Trump. Willing to take that chance.
I think it's likely going to be something in the middle of what both you guys are saying, because more than likely Joe Biden is not going to be much of anything, and he will hopefully at least be able to get a Supreme Court justice, because that's the only thing that I care about. If Biden can get a Supreme Court justice, that's all I care about. That's
best case scenario, he gets 3.
Marlon Ginsburg.
Yes.
Marlon Ginsburg. She can never die.
Listen,
She had cancer, don't she?
yeah,
it's
best
it's
case
like the fourth
scenario.
time.
Yeah, best
How-
case scenario, he gets to nominate 3. Like,
Hmm?
I don't want
No,
anything to happen to Ruth
since
Bader
it's an
Ginsburg.
election, they set it up. Since it's an election year, he can't do it. They set it up. Since it's an election year and she dies, they cannot do it. That's the
Oh, they said they're going
precedent they
to
set.
already. Mitch
Yeah,
McConnell said they're going to do it.
no, they set the precedence, and what they did with Obama, because Obama should have had a judge in there. If they did
Correct.
that, then they should continue with that same thing. Like, I
Well,
don't want to hear it.
I'm just telling you, that's what they talked about it last week because there's a rumblings of Clarence Thomas retiring, and Mitch McConnell said, no, if there's a vacancy before the election, we're going to fill it because that's
Well,
how
that's
he
the
gets
problem.
down.
Is that again, Democrats have no spine. They should have pushed on McConnell when they had the opportunity during Obama's time, and they always, again, are spineless cowards. That's the problem with the Democrat
Agreed.
Party. People
Well,
who
we
listen
agree
to
on
the In
that.
the Lounge podcast, I'm sorry, Democrats are cowards. It just is what it is. People can be mad about the squad, and I don't agree with everything the squad is doing, but I will
Hell
give
no.
them this: they at least are trying to be populist and trying to say, hey, these things are wrong fundamentally with America. Let's do something about it. And people are like, oh, they need to work within the process. We keep working within the process, we're going to get more of all the shit that we've had the last 20 years. And, maybe
30
Obama was
years.
good for you. Well, shit, 40 years. we could go back. But we need someone to come in there and really spice things up. So I'm really hoping, and Biden, you can feel about this however you want to feel about it, whoever your team. I hope you get elected. I hope you bring in Elizabeth Warren, and I'm hoping you die 2 years in. I'm just being 100. Like, I'm hoping that we
Well,
get
let's be
someone who's going
super
to actually do
100.
something.
As of right
The
now, I think he's
Cherokee.
going to be the
Read the
president. He's going to be
Cherokee.
president. He's going to be president. He's going to be president. He won't get my vote, but he's going to be president.
I mean, well, I don't know, man. Again, every time it seems like the Republicans are down and out, it just feels like the Democrats, especially Biden, just throw him something. Because that last thing where Biden's like, Trump's the first racist president. My nigga, how hard is it for you not to say anything? Like, this is one of the few times where you just had to say nothing at all. You had to say nothing. You had to bring that to the table. You just put out your plan. Everything's going good. Why did you pick up a mic?
Okay, but remember, you're more politically involved than anybody. How many times have you seen that covered on CNN at all? Like, just CNN, MSNBC. They covered it once and that was it. Because they're in the tank for Biden. Like, that's just the
dropped
truth
it.
of it.
I mean, again, this is their guy. This is their guy.
Yeah,
And
this is their
to
guy.
a certain extent, I get everything as far as how people feel about Biden, and I definitely do feel like, again, he's not the great hope. He's just the person that we got stuck with because Democrats cheated Bernie yet again. And if there's a hell, there's
Listen,
going to be a lot of.
Bernie showed he had no spine.
here's the thing. In the situation we're in now in this election in November, the next person that takes over, we need a person that has the spirit and the mind and the vision of an FDR, of a JFK. And unfortunately, listen, it's better than Trump. I'm telling you, listen, it's better than Trump. Biden will take power and we'll get a Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter is one of the worst presidents ever.
No, you cannot do that. No. You cannot compare Biden to Jimmy Carter. No.
It's better than what
Jimmy
we have.
Carter is
That's
actually
how
a
I
good
feel about
president for what he
Yeah.
did
No.
at the time. No. Biden worse than Jimmy Carter. Are you serious? Because
Jimmy
Carter,
Carter
what
is
he
one
had
of
to
the worst
do,
presidents
he was
ever.
a Southern Democrat and won presidency. Come on
Blue
now.
Dogs.
Come on now.
I think
Really?
you're confusing Jimmy Carter with Gerald Ford.
No.
No.
Gerald Ford never got elected. He took over for Nixon and lost. Jimmy Carter, he's not one of the worst presidents ever. He's a middle of the pack.
Didn't run again.
Like he had a shit economy. That's all that happened with Carter.
I mean, yeah, he had a shit economy.
He did have a shit
but
economy,
you have
and
to
he
look
did the best he could with what he had. But
Yes.
Reagan taught that
no
game.
one could have changed that.
Game.
No one could have
Yes.
changed that.
Agreed. So that's what I'm saying. Like, hey, Biden could be Jimmy Carter. Like, okay, cool. It isn't the best. It's not the worst. Let's transition to whatever the next era of America is.
But see, I hate when we
but
do that
again,
when we do that to Jimmy.
We always do that and end up with nothing.
This is exactly what we do. This is exactly what Americans do. Anyone listen from the UK? This is exactly what we do. Because, again, Jimmy Carter, I think if he had been given a better economy, a better place, a better whatever, he would have been a way better president. So when people throw him into the middle of the pack, I'm like, he really a president that didn't get a chance to get up off the ground. And immediately was followed by Republicans essentially doing Empire Strikes Back, except for the fact that they never lost.
Agree with you there. So Jimmy Carter, I mean, he didn't push the ball forward based on his circumstances, right? In his 4 years, but we all can see now how fucked up something can get in 4 years.
Yeah.
We I feel like that's the same thing we say for Obama. Like things were really fucked up. I mean, he did what he could. No,
I mean,
he did what
He
his
actually did
corporate
turn it around.
neotism people
he
don't do.
turned.
Stopped
What are
a
you talking
depression.
about? Yes, thank you, the writer. Yes, he stopped
Obama
the
stopped a
depression. Like, what do you
depression.
mean?
He stopped a depression. Whereas in Carter, nah, he really didn't. He fought with what he could at the time, but that was a history for our nation to learn. Hey, look, we need to prepare for this if it ever happens, so we don't actually end up with our pants down in the worst possible situation. That's why Obama could do what he did, because we prepared for a depression just in case. And Obama managed it properly, so he didn't go into a freaking depression. We only were in a recession. Still, recessions freaking suck, because if you're trying to hustle and bustle and get up on your grind, it really makes it hard. But like, we didn't go through that. So right now, we're playing with another depression again. We just don't really know it. This economic situation that's being caused by the Rona, if we don't manage it properly, we can see it again. It's just going to be a
Yes.
different beast in itself, because
I'm
now
gonna
you're
let you
playing
know
with
we got
healthcare.
23 million people unemployed. We are in a depression. They just ain't caught the whistle yet.
I mean,
I
they're
agree
not
with you
going to
there,
ever
Harvey.
call the whistle on that.
No, they're not. But see, here's the thing. Here's the difference between the last depression and this depression. The last depression was caused by an economy. This depression is caused by an external source. And we don't know what is up with this external force. So we really do need to be mindful of it. And then there's a system that is severely inadequate, that cannot handle the situation that we're in right now. But yet we're going to have to be leaning upon it if shit hits a fan, which it probably will. And that's called our healthcare system. It's not ready to take on the brunt that is coming for it, because people, when they get sick, they're going to need healthcare. You're going to have to treat them, because in our law, we have to treat them. Who's going to flip that bill? America, even the
Amen.
federal government's not ready for it yet. It's not. And they want to push the
It-
can down the road or push it to somebody else. Or,
Yep.
America should
Right.
just have healthcare because it's your responsibility. But when you're making $725, how you get healthcare?
Exactly. But here's the thing: a lot of people don't understand right now. Like when we did the whole shutting down and quarantining in March. Right now, shit's a lot worse than it was in March, and they're like, "Nah, we gotta keep this economy open. Like, fuck lives. It's about dollars." Like, I'd hate to break it to people, but like, there's a very strong possibility that your kids will not be back to school, and there will be another shutdown coming here in the next month. Like, this is what's about to happen.
You know what?
Correct.
I actually disagree with you on that one. They're not going to.
You don't think
You're
there'll be a
saying they're
shutdown?
not going to let it
The
shut down, or you
ignorance.
saying
The ignorance is so far out there. They are not going to shut down because of the ignorance. They do not want to acknowledge the problem and deal with the problem. They'd rather just have people die and have that money flowing. They're not going to shut down again because of that. No, they're not going to. The ignorance is so far bad. It's ridiculous. They're not shutting down.
nah? Go ahead. Go ahead, Dupree. Sorry, you had something there, and then I'll go to Ari next.
No, I mean, I like your view of the of disagreeing. I get what you're saying, and maybe, who knows, maybe that's the common sense that I have in me that says, hey, this is worse than March when we did all these things and we didn't do it right. How about we do it again this time so we can save, more lives? And there's a very strong possibility that that won't happen, because look at the power structure and look who's in charge. There's a very strong possibility that will not happen. Enrique,
Mm-hmm.
you got anything to speak your mind on this? Because you've been letting me carry the load a little bit here.
Damn, just throw you under the bus.
Well, the thing about Dupree is he knows how I feel about politics. I don't really get too involved. I just listen to him. He has the firm understanding of how this shit is going about. But I think you held your own in that ring there, sir.
Yeah, you did. You did definitely hold your ring. All right, Ari, go ahead and fuck everything up, because I know you had something that you want to hold.
I don't care who in that. See, the thing is, bro, when I was your age, I was just like you. I was super Democrat, but then I realized they're spineless, weak cowards who believe in incrementalism and little change here, little change there, and they're never ever going to do anything because they're too scared of these quote unquote conservatives who are going to do something or rally against them. They're never ever going to do anything. I was your age. I'm telling you, I was on the Obama train. I had the bumper sticker. I donated money. I'm telling you, once you get out, they say the older you get, the more conservative you get. And there's truth to that because you realize the left is full of pussies. They're all bitches. They don't want to do anything. I'm telling you,
God damn.
once you realize that, you'll be like, damn, they some pussies. Y'all had when Obama was elected, they had the House and they had the fucking Senate. They could have did whatever the fuck they wanted to, but then they had the censure. You'll notice about Republicans, no matter if you don't agree with them, yes, no, or yes, they don't even matter. They get shit done. Democrats do not get shit done. And you'll
That is
notice that.
true.
Do what they
That's
wanted to
true.
do.
And they're
Already, they
always
did do what they
blaming
wanted to
everything
do.
else.
No, the Democrats did do what they wanted to do when Obama was in office, and that's
No,
bicker
they
and
didn't.
quarrel.
No, they did
That's
not.
what they
No,
did.
they
They
did
wanted
not.
to bicker and quarrel
How?
about.
Yeah. That's exactly what they
That's
wanted.
Mr. Moon. So they did exactly what they wanted to do when they were in office. So you cannot say they were productive. They're just
You're right.
productive
You're right.
and getting nothing done. They were very productive and getting
Exactly.
nothing done. Very
And I
productive.
apologize. Dupree. You were right. Carter had a whole fucking Senate his entire time and didn't do shit. You were right.
I told
I
you
know.
to this president.
I always try to throw him something, but I guess I
Jimmy
forgot.
Carter sucked.
Jimmy Carter had a whole goddamn Senate and didn't do enough. Obama had a Senate for 2 years, and yes, me and you, RB, will put him up on a cross for that. Obviously, not a real cross. Calm down, FBI
Yeah.
agent listening.
Oh, I
But
love him as a person. Don't get me wrong. Bury my boy. I love him as a
exactly.
person, but his politics are neocon. Like they are where they are. They lean left socially, which doesn't do anything, but fiscally, they're gonna do whatever the Republicans do, but a little bit less evil. That's all they're gonna do. Even if you look at Hillary's tax plan, she was gonna raise taxes. If you look at Joe Biden's tax plan, it's even lower than Hillary's. The Medicare age, Hillary wanted to drop it to 50. Joe Biden talking about dropping it to like 57 or 55. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck?
How are people gonna live on that? Like, unless you just been slinging fire this entire time of your life, that's not a sustainable plan. And it's okay. You know what? I'm just gonna let him have that. But
Yeah, don't put your faith in them. And people like Bernie come around and they disappoint you every time.
every time, it's like
Like Ralph
you're
Nader.
so close but so far. I mean, Ralph Nader. People can say what they want to say, but Ralph got shit passed by being an asshole, and I can't be but so mad at that because it's politics. But something I know we can all agree upon is that Amazon apparently is meeting with startups, investing large portions of money into them, and then several years into the partnership, launching competing projects that just wipe the startups out. So when they come to you with that large bag of money, black men and black women, please make sure you just don't give them the keys to the kingdom because Amazon has no qualms with crushing you.
Joe Biden made
Absolutely.
13. I'm sorry, Jeff Bezos made $13 billion. Nobody said shit.
Nope.
$13 billion in one day.
Yeah, I think that deserves some government oversight there. It sounds like a monopoly, and they need to but monopolies need to be busted.
Yeah, they tried that back in the 90s, but you know who pussied out?
Oh my
Federal
god.
government. Exactly.
Do not put your faith in them. They are pussies. They're
Oh
never
no no
gonna
no no
do
no
it.
no! Don't
Oh,
be
man.
mistaken here. I want you to know I do not have faith in the federal government. I'll give you two examples why. But what I'm saying and what I make it so important to our listeners is that you can work outside the system and you can work inside the system at the same time. So yes, you should still go out there and vote and make your voice heard, but you can also protest and do things in other ways too to make your opinion and your voice come across. Now, why I don't believe in the federal government. They killed Fred Hammond.
Yep.
Hampton in Chicago. That was the FBI. And the Tuskegee Airmen experiment when they were giving black people syphilis and leaving it untreated for 30 years to see what the fucking effects were. So
Yep.
no, I don't
Yep. I
trust the
mean,
federal government.
these are
They
both
don't have
mortal
my
sins
faith.
of the federal government, killing
Hold
Fred
on.
Hampton, as well as giving black men in Tuskegee experiment syphilis and leaving that shit untreated, not telling them they had it and watching that shit rage over the course of an entire community. And then later on being like, oh yeah, we're going to throw y'all some bread. Throw them some bread. Throw them some bread that you think that makes up for their entire lives of having diseases that were untreated. Like, I think people don't really get exactly how insidious the government can be when you see stuff like this that happen, or like the MK Ultra experiments where they did the shit outside of America so they wouldn't have to worry about our laws or coming up after. They actually went to great old Canada, so thanks again, Top Hat, for not standing up to us and just raged experiments. And when it finally all came out, decades later, people were like, "Oh, I can't believe the government would do that. I don't think they would." And then all the stuff got declassified, and it's like, "Oh shit, the federal government did do that." It's like, yeah, the federal government can do some really shitty things, and that's exactly why the people need to have their feet on the federal government to make sure that they rein in, because otherwise, government will do whatever it wants, and it's never going to be in the best interest of black people, people of color, women, because I mean, the federal government looks at women as a certain amount of you need to have babies, and they try to incentivize that and disincentivize that by allowing you to have abortion, but also allowing states to pretty much fuck up abortion, which is kind of against the whole point. If you're going to allow it, allow it. Don't allow states to just do whatever they want.
And I have one more important thing. Please arrest the cops that murdered, slaughtered, destroyed, killed Breonna Taylor. We don't talk about that enough. Everyone's saying it, but they're not doing shit. Also, the Democrats, shout out to you 93 Democrats that voted to drop the Pentagon budget by 10%, which would still make our budget at least 200 times bigger than the next country. Of course, I'm being facetious, but still, our budget would still be higher. I think the vote was 93 to 194. You Democrats, you're fucking spineless cowards.
Correct. It was so close. So close.
Military industrial complex wins again.
Once again, that's
undefeated,
one thing that they can agree
never
on.
Lost.
Yeah, never lost. Remember, this is the same group of people who could have voted for you to get a stimulus check, for you to get relief, for us to do something like Canada, depending on who you are and what your situation is like. They're giving people $2,000 every single month. I hear about it from some of my Canadian colleagues about how well they feel like their families are being taken care of in this time of need. And I don't know a single American that's like, yeah, our government's taking such great care of us, unless, they trade on Wall Street.
Oh, and by the way, what else they need to do? There was something we were talking about. Oh, they're also going to put a bill in there too. When they're making you go to work and you got coronavirus, they're going to, what do they call it? What do they call it?
They're going to prevent frivolous lawsuits.
Yeah, they're going to prevent you from suing your job for making you come to work sick and infecting everybody else. Corporate liability shield. And they both agree on it.
Shield. Yeah, they do.
Corporate liability shield. They're both going to do it. That's going to be in the next COVID bill.
I want our listeners to hear that and know how important that is and how corporate America is trying to game you. You're going to sign a waiver so you can go to work. And then if you end up contracting this disease, which there is no vaccine or cure for, you contract that. You can't sue even though you called at work. Now, if you go to Target and you slip and fall because they mopped the floor and there wasn't a sign, you can sue their ass. You come to work and you get sick because they just want bodies and seats there to show face, you can't sue. Think about that.
You got to think long and hard about the fact that these are their priorities. It has nothing to do with what they could do. It's like, oh, well, that wouldn't pass. Even if they passed something where they said, look, we're not allowing you to do that. If you bring your workers back and they get COVID and they can prove that it's due to you being negligent, because oftentimes you guys are being negligent. Not everybody's Publix. Shout out to y'all. But if you're letting people come in there sick, or again, a lot of these jobs, unless you work in corporate America, they don't have, enough sick days for you. They're giving you like maybe 10 days of vacation, telling you to take your sick out of that. Whereas other jobs, nice corporate jobs, you got a sick day budget, you got a vacation budget, you got days that they just throw at you because, hey man, you know what? The company need a self-care day. Everybody take this day off. Or even better, Twitter. Shout out to you, Jack. I mean, I don't always see eye to eye with you, but just tell people, never come back into work again. Y'all can work from home.
Also, by the way, you are going to get checks next month. I got a little friend in IRS. That's already coming. I'm letting y'all know that check's coming next month. You unemployment niggas, get ready. They're about to screw y'all over.
They are about to screw y'all.
I think Joe Biden's going to fix that. They're going to extend that shit for another year, I believe, and they're going to do it. But we got to wait till the Democrats get elected. So, like I said, go vote for some Democrats. Watch them disappoint you a little, but you'll at least get some money for a little while.
Yeah. Let me ask you, R. Reed, because I've been trying to figure out this answer, and I've been hearing conflicting things about it.
Which one?
The stimulus checks that people are getting, right? So let's say that you're somebody that after next month is going to have had received 2 of these. Are they going to take that out in taxes next year? when you
From
file.
what I'm hearing, that's what their language says, but we'll see. I doubt it. If the
I
Democrats
don't
get
see how you
elected,
can
they're not
do
going to
that.
let it happen.
Yeah.
Oh, they can't do it for everybody. If you look at the average person who got it, as far as people, most of those people got us gonna get some kind of refund. So I don't think the Democrats gonna let that happen. So we're good. I honestly don't think the Democrats gonna let that because that's further stimulus. They don't have to do another stimulus check. So we'll see.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. I don't think I don't think it either because I mean I've been reading about that when I do some of my other gigs, and that's been
yeah,
like a really big conspiracy. It's like, oh yeah,
yeah.
it's gonna come out of it. But it's like that would be
The
in
language,
a
I saw it. The
yeah,
language looks weird.
the
Yeah,
language is bad, but that wouldn't be
yeah.
something they could truly enforce because it's not like you had a choice about a stimulus check. All right, not like you say, hey, I'm not gonna cash this money. They sent that check to your house. They sent it to dead people. They sent it to people in nursing homes that people were stealing from. I mean, the check is cut. Like we said to all Americans, you have no choice in it as long as you made below, like I think it was 130 for regular people and like 225 for married people. I think that's what the cutoff is. But depending on what you made, I mean, you probably didn't get a real stimulus check. Some of us, we got pennies. We got pennies, not real checks, pennies. Y'all over there with your $1,200, living nice, having a nice life. We got a penny from our federal government. Although they did make some loopholes so we can restructure debt. So y'all gonna see who got the real stimulus real soon.
Preach.
I respect it.
Yeah, fuck all these politics, bro.
Exactly. Instead, I'm gonna get on y'all for music because the other week when y'all was talking with your boy Justin, I really did enjoy the conversation. It was great. Definitely, y'all are one of my favorite podcasts, and I'm sorry I didn't get to hear Anthony this time, but I understand. Things happen, and take care of home first. The podcast will be here because we got literally all of the next quarantine or refresh, as myself and Anthony and Justin Hunt are calling it, to still be able to link up. But y'all said that it's easier to get number ones now, and I just don't. It
Yes.
didn't resonate with my spirit just because of the problem of there being now everyone. You got people like Viper that are blowing up on YouTube, and if you've ever heard Viper's music, it's terrible. It's objectively trash, and if you listen to it, it makes you slightly dumber, like listening to Donald Trump. But at the same time, this man is making money, like legitimately good money, and there's a million Vipers. I don't know how y'all feel about 6ix9ine. I think he's the greatest troll of all time behind 50 Cent. But at the
Yes.
same time, the man has been able to do something that no one else has done, which is ink a deal for about $5 million for live streaming. And I wouldn't pay for a 6ix9ine concert. So how he got these people to pay him $5 million to hold a virtual concert, I will never know. But all of this to say, I think that, yes, on the surface level, it's easier than ever to get to music. But the problem is, it's much harder to break through the noise. I know personally 2 or 3 people who they were up and coming musicians, they had great sounds, they got record deals. You've never heard them. Why? Because companies now, if they have an artist that sounds one way, they buy every other artist who sounds similar to them. They send their A&Rs out. They blanket the entire world and they will find every person who has a similar sign. They will write you a deal. They will get access to all your music. They will cut you a very nice check, and no one will ever hear your shit ever again. They will scrub you from the entire internet. So it's easier, but it's not the same as what it used to be. Whereas
Well,
before, you
when
could go based on being good.
that well,
But sorry.
that's the point, right? So that's what we were talking about on our podcast about in terms of going number one on Billboard, right? Like, and I made the point that hey, 6ix9ine has a number one song, right? Jimi Hendrix never had a number one song. The Temptations never had a number one song. There's countless all-time great artists that never had a number one song on Billboards, and some of that is because of the racist structuring of Billboard back in the day, where they had black categories and everything. But like,
Mm-hmm.
we're talking overall in general, you know. The song going number one back in the day for the most part was based off of the talent and popularity of that song. There's very non-talented artists having number one hit songs now,
Well,
and
I
that's
think
what I was saying.
the thing is, it's talent versus the machine.
Yes.
Talent can't beat the machine alone. You need a following. These younger kids like 6ix9ine, Little Xan, Little Peep, all these other ones, like they grew up in the internet era where trolling was king, and still is king. So they know for a fact that as long as they put out like some video of them doing some weird shit or saying some weird shit, it's going to. It's kind of like what Kanye is trying to do now. Like that's like a rollout in order to get like a huge follow on the next tracks that they release. And also, I believe what Justin was arguing about was the help of bundles as well.
Oh yeah.
Like Logic just released his album this past week, and he dropped merch, right? Limited merch. So I go on for the merch. You buy a hoodie, you get the album for free with it.
Well, the
You
album ain't no
buy,
shit anyway.
but that's what I'm saying. So like they're using that to like help boost the sales. So it's just weird. It's different
What's the
time.
name did that? What's the name did that? What's his name? The dead dude
What?
from California. He was one of the first people to do that. Damn
You
it,
talking
bro.
about?
Damn it, bro. He died and everybody was so sad that he died. Oh man, he had the marathon continues. That guy,
Oh, Nipsey Hussle.
Nipsey Hussle. He was one of the first people to pioneer that. Really, for the most
Right.
part, people tried it, but he did it well. But I'm with you. These kids, I just don't get 6ix9ine because his music is trash. I really like objectively, I just don't get it. He has some nice beats, I guess.
Well, beat selection's always been a thing, but I think part of it is that 6ix9ine is someone who the industry has tried to blackball, and then it's had the Donald Trump Post Malone effect, where every time they try to box him in, he just gets bigger, and it's getting to the point where now it's like, if y'all just left the kid alone, he'd burn out on his own. But by you saying that he can't, you're not going to help him here, you're not going to sign him there, you're not going to allow him to do this. He just keeps getting bigger because that's just the nature of how things are.
Can
So,
I ask you a real question? How many of his
yeah.
fans do you think are black?
That's another thing.
Probably less than a percent.
30?
I think of his fans
Nah, I
are
say less
black.
than 30.
Yeah.
You think less than 30? Okay,
30%.
For sure, less than 30.
For sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Bro, that's like
I
And
if
never
you look
heard
at
anybody like, yo,
Kanye's
I'm a fan of
statistics
this
right
6ix9ine.
now. His fans are a bunch of little white kids. It's not black men like us listening to Kanye right now.
A little
Oh,
white
I
kids
listen to
that's
Kanye.
rocking the fucking Yeezys and shit.
well, no, but you're right. Kanye's fan base has changed, but also Kanye's fan base has changed because of Kanye. Like I think if Kanye had stayed on the making music, like
Somebody get that man his meds. He
he
needs his
won't.
meds. Someone, the
He's
doctor did
he's
not
not
write
going
this
back on.
prescription or something. He needs his meds. Somebody, please give this
You
man
know,
his
it's
meds.
crazy.
Listen.
You know, it's funny that every time that you say something that's quote unquote undemocratic, they'll start calling you crazy or they'll say you, I don't know. He might be a little crazy, but I think it's all coinciding with him, quote unquote, holding more left views than right views. Because he was talking about abortion, and you don't touch abortion as a black man because we kill babies like it ain't nobody's business. We don't talk about it, but we kill babies like it ain't nobody's business. But as soon as he said it, now he's crazy. But you know, whatever. he can be both.
I don't think that the main issue with Kanye is just his mental health. I think a bigger issue with Kanye West is that he was doing really well here for like three years with no real outbursts. Yeah, he said some things that people didn't like, but saying things that people didn't like slavery was a choice, is very different than him throwing a rally that looked like he put no effort into, had no idea really about what topics, and was that for a lot of it just rambling about stuff because he needed to fill a void and talking about how he's going to design the acoustics. And it's like, my nigga, we all know you're not going to do any of that stuff. So
You know, the
it's
last guy
really,
who did that became president.
I mean, yes, but there's a big difference between a guy rambling because he already had paid for 2 rallies, his kids putting him up to doing it, because remember, if you want to talk about Donald Trump, you got to talk about the whole picture, and a guy who was already super famous, everyone has super brand recognition, it was already, again, as you always like to say, Donald Trump was cool in the 80s. Like
We cool in the
that's something
90s
that
too.
that's something we never bring up, is the fact that Kanye been disliked since he said George W. Bush doesn't care about black people, and white people had to reconcile the fact that Kanye was spitting facts, and they did not like that.
Just like Black Lives Matter. They
I
hate the hell
think
out of
that
them.
just because you have an opinion, like you're famous and you have an opinion, doesn't make you fucking intelligent. I think that's the problem with a lot of things that go on right now. Like, cool, he's super famous. He made some really good music. Just because he has opinions on shit doesn't make him intelligent. Doesn't make him right.
True.
Intelligence in itself is, the definition of intelligence is using knowledge and wisdom and applying it within action. That's intelligence. So on that barometer, like, a lot of people out there are not intelligent. And if you giving Kanye some type of
I
form of
agree with you.
intelligence, it's like, no. He is an observer and he does make good points, but he also makes crazy logo points. Hence why he needs his meds. I don't know, Kim Kardashian, she's slipping because normally she'd be like,
The whole family tried. The whole family has tried to put Kanye back on his meds. Kanye says he's not taking them. Kim reportedly threatened him over the kids, but I think it was like a light threat. But we'll have to see how this is going to play out because on the one hand, I do think that Kanye West could run for president at one day if he got his shit together. But he has to get his shit together and stop saying things that are just blatantly false, like Harriet Tubman didn't free any slaves.
As president, that once he refuses to take his meds, this motherfucker will press the goddamn red button. Just that motherfucker will be like, you know what, no, man, Jesus is gonna save us all.
I mean, they said that about Trump, and he didn't do that. So I don't think that we can use that particular argument. I think the bigger thing here,
Trump and Kanye is two different people. Kanye is actually like
no.
Whereas in Trump,
no, they're both attention-seeking. They are both attention-seeking narcissists who are slightly crazy. No, they're the same person. Trump has dementia. Like let's kick it 100. All right, Trump got his own mental issues, and the fact that he quote unquote exactly,
but he doesn't need meds.
He quote unquote beat a dementia test. I mean, no, we don't know how many meds either of these people are taking. We just know about Kanye's meds because it's obvious.
But let me one thing I gotta say before y'all go any further. I want you to understand everybody has these opinions that they haven't really thought out. And then when they start talking, they're just like, oh shit, that sounds stupid. Like everyone has a stance, be it political or just any kind of stance on things that they just believe they do. Like me, I have a stance on guns. I don't give a fuck. If you go to the store and get a rocket launcher, go get one if you can afford it. But when it comes down to it, I really don't want everybody to have fucking rocket launchers. I want the ability to get a rocket launcher. Like, it is what it is. I don't. Yeah, everyone has opinions like that. But I believe if the police can have a rocket launcher, why can't you? Like, they're like, why? Then why the fuck do they got rocket launchers? No.
I mean, look, the police have rocket launchers because again, with MOVE, they bombed an entire facility, and we never want to talk about that. Well,
that was
a rocket launcher.
That's in our backyard, man. That's me and Enrique. That's our area. You know, we're from that in that general area. Like,
they shouldn't have access.
Don't call people crazy. Just understand that everybody has opinions on everything, but they're not as deep as you think they are. Like, without further research, of course. Because like abortion, like people like you either for or you're not. I'm like, it's a little bit more complicated than that. If you're using abortion as birth control, I'm sorry, I'm just not for it. I'm just not for it. And
that's the effects it has on people. That's the part that we never want to talk about. The effect having multiple abortions, like those people who are chain gunning abortions, like it fucks you up. You might be cool with it when you're in your 20s, but if you keep that shit going into your 30s, you can end up looking like one of those girls who was just like, oh yeah, the doctor told me I don't have ovaries anymore. And it's like, well, you kept basically poisoning your body over time. So what did you expect? Like, you can't be mad about it now that you actually found somebody worth dating. Like, sorry, boo, you poisoned yourself out of a happy life, and it just is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't.
Yeah, but we don't have, because everything is more nuanced than we like to give it credit. Even when
we have those conversations. Just we can't have those conversations on national stage. And you know, you're wrong. I'm wrong. We could have those conversations on national stage, but people don't want to have the conversation. Say, you know what? A lot of y'all are using abortion as birth control. And that's really fucked up because, again, people don't want to talk to their kids about sex. People don't want their kids to have sex ed.
Start preaching. You preaching right now.
These things are all linked together. Like, I'm sorry, Black America. You need to talk to your kids about sex because they're going to have
bitches got loose morals. That's why we're in this situation.
Don't get it wrong. Wow. I'm not even going to say that.
Exactly. It does. We say it all the time, man. You're responsible for your seed. I mean, we're not telling you that you can't just have sex with all these thoughts, but I'm just sorry, man. One day that rubber's gonna break, and it's the best feeling ever because it feels so good, and then you realize afterwards you feel so bad. Especially
that whole 5 minutes wasn't even worth it.
You took the words out of my mouth. Yeah. Well, so all right, I want to circle back to something that we talked about earlier because we always go full circle on our podcast, right?
We do too.
You said that 5 minutes wasn't worth it. It was the 5 minutes worth that 2-hour drive you took after you just got off a 12-hour shift at 8 p.m.
That day was.
That day was legendary.
Yeah, I put them 5 minutes in. Then I clocked overtime for another 10 minutes.
Oh shit! You gave her a double play. Okay.
15 minutes, but
She was so happy about that. Did she
bro,
get
every
hurt?
man. Y'all ever seen Jamie Foxx TV show? It was a funny. I just remember this one episode. I don't know why. I didn't even really like the show, but there was a guy on there. He was like, "Oh, how long can you have sex?" Jamie Foxx was like, "Shit." You know what I'm saying? Without foreplay, he's like, "Shit, 15, goddamn 30 minutes, you know, at the most." This guy was like, he was like this vegetarian guy, you know, holistic medicine, this kind of guy. He said, "That's just the beginning. I fucked for 3 hours." And I realized every nigga I know, I was talking about they fuck for 3 hours. Every nigga I know, I'm just like, what? That can't be true. That cannot
It's
be
not
true.
true. It's,
Statistically,
Nah.
it can be.
I'm
you
just
said
like,
it
yo,
can or
bro,
it can't be.
Wait.
it
You're
can't.
saying physically having sex for 3 hours straight is not possible?
No,
I'm
no, no.
saying
What
it.
we're saying is statistically, for everyone to say that, oh yeah, man, you know, I was in the walls for 3 hours. Nah, that is not true.
If you
Some of
look
Yeah,
it
y'all
up,
niggas,
the average sex session lasts about 7 minutes, I believe it is. So yes, that's
yeah.
not
Yeah.
true.
I'm at least tripling that time, and I ain't no flex.
you just
I
said you had 5 minutes.
You know, I
I
always put like this. I like to set expectations low. So when I get another ball,
I
Okay,
just
you're going with your thing from before because last
yeah.
time you told them, you know, the whole thing. But then again, that all got cut out the podcast. So I'm just talking about air right now. Go
Well,
ahead.
I agree. If I get mine, it's over. But that's neither here. Go ahead.
but 3 hours. There's a lot more you can do in 3 hours than I don't know. Whatever.
It
I
depends. It
feel like
Man,
depends on
anybody.
how young you are, though, man. In my
man.
in my teens and 20s, that was just the regular shit. Was stuff that's going for 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, trying to do whatever. You know, trying to see if we can get to the 2020 orgasm club. Like that was the stuff that you were doing because you were young and in college and things were going, and you know you had
We pay
all that time.
taxes now, okay?
Exactly. That's the truth. That's the truth. Once you pay taxes, I'm talking real taxes, not the little thing where you get money for the government. I'm saying when you might have to give a little money to the government, it's a different ball game, and it's hard for you to reconcile that. Like you think about the old days, you're like, damn man, you used to be fucking for damn near 30 minutes. Now, man, I'm like 15 minutes. I'm like, whoa, look at me. Hey, I'm on 10.
Y'all be high fiving after like, yo, I didn't know I had
Exactly.
that one in me
Facts.
still.
I didn't know I was gonna get that one. I didn't know you was gonna get it. It was close there at the end. It was close. It was close there at the end. I thought you was gonna get yours, but I'm so glad we got you across that line
He
on
said, I don't know
time.
how the judges' scorecard is looking right now, but I think it was a draw.
Exactly. I think it was a draw. I mean, that's all I'm aiming for. You know, it's always better when you can get hers, but you know, quit on yours because then you think, oh shit, is this something I did? Was it something I did? What did I do that made him be like, no, no, it's cool, it's cool. You know, but what sucks more than that is the nigga I'm disappointed of the week.
I'm
And that is,
disappointed.
I'm disappointed by these false accusations. So we had two this week. We had justice for Izu. Basically, girl likes guy likes girl. They have sex. Girl wants to be more. Guy doesn't want to be with girl. And there apparently is an anonymous, non-physical sexual assault claim that's made against the guy on an unauthorized rape list. He tries to get his name clear from there, but can't after exhausting all his resources and you know the brand he's built for himself. He ends up killing himself. His family wants answers, and they've asked, you know, for clarity
Is
and
this a white
time. And
guy?
no, he was black, and I believe he
Really?
was
Bro, you
also
killed yourself?
Nigerian.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, he killed himself because basically they ruined his career, like what he was going for in his studies. You know, it can be a little bit different here, but you know, if everybody around campus calling you a rapist and don't fuck with you, you know, kids these days they build different. Like they care a lot about reputation and brand and how people perceive them. Whereas for our generation, somebody said "fuck you," it's just like, all right, well, this is another day.
oh, okay.
He
Like,
But
said it's another
right,
day.
exactly,
right,
somebody
right.
says "fuck you," it's like this is another day. I mean, I think rape accusations are definitely serious,
Yeah,
but people called into
nigga.
question this girl, and there's a lot of moving parts on this, and her family's still waiting for the police to finish their part of the investigation. But it's super fucked up that this happened. And at the same time this week, we had another girl who got mad that a guy scammed out of 800, which I get it. The guy scammed you. But she basically had her sister, younger sister, start chilling with the guy. They got cool and all. They was, you know,
Aw.
doing what people do. And then she had her sister claim rape accusation against this guy and tried to ruin his life. And it's like, guys, we really have to stop with these false accusations. If you got scammed out of money, I'm sorry, that's the game. Plenty of men get scammed in this thing called divorce or this other thing called you are the father. And we don't get no recourse over those things. This judge is basically come and tell you, hey, you're going to pay them out on this
That
thing.
was a
And
fire
sometimes,
take right there.
I mean, it is. It just is. We get scammed all the time on shit. You can't come up here and be accusing these men of rape accusations because the only thing you're doing is hurting actual victims. There's actual real
Yes.
women out here who are like, oh, well, I don't want to report it because I don't want people to think whatever. And they got fucking Brock Turner over here in some party in some frat house somewhere, and they afraid to turn the shit in because they're like, I don't want everybody going like that. The whole process is pretty invasive because these are just claims made. They didn't actually go through with everything because if you have a real rape accusation, you go to the police, you got somebody who's got to physically examine your vagina. They're going to take DNA swab. It's an invasive and terrible thing. And for a woman to say that she's putting herself in this position is very different than a woman who's like, oh, well, I'm just claiming this because I'm mad at a nigga.
But they have that power because, you got to believe.
I mean, no, unless you're Tara Reid, you have to believe. But it's terrible how this shit goes because these women that you're cheapening rape accusations. Because now, like, it used to be like, I don't know about y'all, but like in my 20s, when I heard rape accusation, it was terrible. It was a whatever thing. Like they happened all the time on my campus, where it was like this random black guy who was between 5'7" to like 6'3", and everybody like we used to start at parties to go people until we found out it was just these bitches cheating with the football team and didn't want their white boyfriends to know, so they made up a fucking boogeyman that raped them, even though they get dicked down willingly.
Right.
And that's when I started being like, now I always had that grain of salt. Like, I'm definitely team believe, but I definitely want to see some proof as well.
I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead. Go with the question.
No. Team believe, but I got a question.
Yeah, team believe, but I got questions because it's just people like this cheapen it. And it sucks because I know women who've been raped. I know women who've been raped who will never turn in those accusations because they don't want to ruin this or fuck up that. And they got to deal with that hate. Now, a lot of them, they move forward with their lives. They're not just dwelling on this, but some of them are broken. They are absolutely broken women. They will never be the same. They will never be the same woman that they've ever been. And it's terrible because we want women to come forward when they have an actual credible thing. And if you do something like that to my daughter, I'm telling you now, nigga, and you can keep this on the podcast, I'm murdering you. It just is what it is. Mm-hmm. But we have to stop being, oh, well, this guy wouldn't date me, or, oh, well, this guy scammed me out of money. Scamming happens. I'm sorry. Men get scammed every fucking day. And we don't get the recourse of being like, I'm going to do with this girl who led me on? She touched me inappropriately. Because community's not even going to be like, oh, man, this woman touched this man inappropriately. They're going to say, but did you enjoy it, though?
Well, see, Shawty she can make back her $800. Like, that dude's reputation, will never be the same.
Correct.
Even if it is proven to be false, like, still going to have motherfuckers, especially like now when we live in an age where everyone kind of lives on the internet. Everyone has a Facebook, a Twitter, an Instagram. So, like, no one has to come knock on your door to harass you, All they got to do is just pick up their phone.
Yeah, that's all they got to do is just pick up their phone and be like, that man who I'm saying is whatever. And I mean, sometimes the evidence is overwhelming. And I'm sorry to put you out like this, but you did put it on Instagram. So, like, Cyber Love, like, she is an artist. She does wonderful stuff. You should definitely check her out. But she's been going to battle with this guy, Master Node, I think it is. He basically asked her for some really sexually explicit pictures because, quote unquote, he needed art. And she brought all the receipts. Like, she put that whole thing out there. You can read it. You can be like, damn, that is pretty fucked up. Wow, that's pretty suspect. Whoa, why would you ask her for this? Hold up. Are you trying to get her to give you stuff because you essentially just want to jack off to these pictures? Because that's what it makes it seem like based on this. But she gave the whole receipts, and she's been consistent in her message. And she's been, she's telling me like other women are coming to her. Like, she's got women from ages 19 or the young teens to like whatever. So this guy is a true full-blown predator. But she put out all the stuff. Exactly. She put out all the stuff because she wanted them to know, to believe her. It's crazy that we still have women who are just like, oh, well, I mean, if I don't like this guy, well, he's gonna get a rape accusation. Like, there's no comeback from that. Like, even if you make it, you really didn't.
Nah, like that. What's that football player's name?
Oh, Ben Rapenberger?
Nah, not him. The
Oh,
what?
the false accusation one.
Yeah, the false accusation one. Yeah.
Ari would know better than me.
Yeah, I forget which one that was, but like, he had potential to make it into the league, and he went to prison. Found the chick finally confessed that it wasn't true. His life is never going to be the same. Could have been so much better. But yeah, the only thing she gets is what, a slap on the wrist for lying.
Yeah.
And like
that's
you
the
said,
part
it's the
that was so
stigma,
fucked up.
right? Like it doesn't matter if your
Mhm.
name gets cleared in court. People always be like, "Yo, that's that nigga that raped somebody."
Yeah, and it's Brian Banks.
Yeah.
Brian Banks.
Yeah, no, that's not.
He got to play 1 week for the Falcons, Brian Banks.
Yeah, he did, but
Okay.
that was after 6 years in prison. 6 years. She stole this man's whole fucking life. Whole life.
Sick world.
It's terrible. It is, man. It is. But we're gonna end on something happier than that. We normally do this segment called This or That. Who is better with a belt? Granddad from Boondocks or Trevor Belmont from Castlevania's Netflix adaptation? I'm going with Granddad.
Me too.
I didn't see the second one, but Granddad.
Granddad was nasty with the belt.
Granddad.
Yeah, Granddad will fucking nigga up with the belt. All right.
You see when he battled Stink Meaner's
Exactly.
demon inside of Tom? Like, come on,
man. That man's taking out ghosts. Trevor, you need to catch up. All right. We saw you in that last season. You wasn't 100% there, man. And Granddad could have came in there. He could have wiped them bad boys out and had another season. Although how Granddad gets to this weird, alternate universe, that's a whole nother thing. But I'm sure they'll figure it out in the HBO series. But which will have you waiting in the same spot for longer? Arguing with somebody via text or waiting for somebody to pull up with what they promised to bring you?
The second option.
I think
Yeah.
arguing.
Are you gonna go with arguing? I mean,
I think it's arguing. Bro, I've gotten into text arguments where I had to pull over on the side of the road. Like, hold up. Who the fuck are you talking to?
Who you fucking talking to
Whoa,
like
I
that?
was- I'm the type of nigga that get paragraphs and respond okay.
If it was me younger, yeah, I'd probably now. Like, if somebody promised to bring me some shit, like, I'm waiting. I'm like, yo, man, I thought you said you was gonna come help. I thought you was gonna help. But it is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. This one's gonna be harder. Which is better black food? Funeral chicken or baby shower meatballs?
Funeral chicken.
That funeral chicken hit different, bro.
Man, them baby shower meatballs is the nectar of the gods.
Grape jelly and barbecue sauce, bro. Grape jelly and barbecue sauce.
I understand that, but I've had my aunts. Please, you know what? She don't listen to this. I've had my aunts, and I've had shit at the fucking baby shower. The baby shower was better. My aunt, she throw down in the kitchen. All right, she throw down. Lady can cook out this world, but there's something about I think baby shower meatballs. You get a little bit of that essence of new life into the meatballs. The same way with funeral chicken, you get that good times taste.
Well, listen, funeral chicken, there's love in that. Like, whoever brought that to the function, whoever made that, they put love into that because they was grieving. Like, that's like when somebody make an album after a breakup or a death of somebody. Like, this is their passion project. That fried chicken.
I like that.
I mean, no, I definitely like that.
She put the soul of the person in the chicken.
It was a sacrifice.
But them shower meatballs, man, they put the whole anticipation of a wonderful event. You know how hyped ladies get for a baby?
The baby dad ain't even in the girl life when they having them meatballs there. So that's the best thing of the damn event.
That's hilarious because he's telling the truth.
Yeah,
that's the best thing of the pregnancy. That's the best thing of the pregnancy, the shower meatballs.
Hold on, not just the pregnancy. That's the apex of what's going to happen besides the kid being born. Like
that is true. Well, a lot of y'all.
It's some diapers.
Right.
You got meatballs and diapers and some money because for some reason we passed over birthday and stripper traditions to baby showers, which makes no sense. Like, why am I attaching $50 to you because you had sex? All right, I didn't partake in that.
My God, I wish somebody would just start pitting $50 on me because I had sex. Like, please sign me up.
I know she
can't get pregnant twice, Riker.
I know she can't, but at the same time,
because they feel bad because they like, yo, we see who your baby dad is. We know he ain't gonna do shit for you. You gonna need a little extra lift from the get go here. It's like a plane taking off. Like, you gonna need a little extra boost. That's why they attach rockets
talking
to
the last
bro.
3 baby showers I've been through, bro. Why are you talking to the last 3 baby showers I've been to?
Hey, the rock when you send a rocket into space, it need a boost. You got to get this baby off the ground. You know what I mean?
You
There's
right,
going to be a
man. You
whole
right.
other half that made this baby that ain't going to be shit to it. You know what I mean? In a lot of cases, I ain't speaking about the men on this podcast, but you know, there's a lot of men out there that you know, abandon their responsibilities.
They be hyped to get over their responsibilities too, and they'd be like, "All right, well," I mean,
and then want
shit,
credit
man,
for doing the bare minimum. Like, nigga, I sent my baby mom. Wow, great. That's like saying I
big
woke
man.
up this morning. Yeah, great.
All right, imagine the world is ending due to a zombie apocalypse, and you can escape to one compound location, start over. Would you go to a bunker that is deep within a mountain that contains about 250 people and will sustain you for, let's say, 50 years? Or would you go to the island of Jamaica, where you have a population of about 1,000 survivors?
Jamaica, man.
Jamaica. I'm looking at this
Jamaica.
from a practical approach. There is more foraging and food gathering and hunting that you have a sustainable climate. You don't have to worry about fighting cold elements like you would in a mountain. So I'm going Jamaica.
I am with you 100%, except for that there are these things called hurricanes. So that's the only reason I'm taking a bunker. Is hurricanes with no access to be able to get any real materials.
You ever heard of a
sure,
blizzard?
I mean, sir, we already deep down inside. It's for 50 years. I mean, you're right. After the 50 years, my descendants is gonna have some problems. But my nigga,
He thinking about
I'm gonna be
himself.
fine. I'm just saying, bro, I'm gonna be fine. Now my descendants, y'all are gonna have to get it how you live. But yeah, we good. We good. We gonna be fine. But no, I understand. Now, would you rather jump out of an airplane or have to survive 24 hours in the desert by yourself? I'm strapping on that
Jump out of airplane.
exactly, that parachute. I ain't doing 24 hours in the desert.
Bro, you jumping out of an airplane gonna be over in 2 minutes.
Exactly. That desert, even if you come super prepared with water and everything, the thing that most people don't forget or don't think about is the fact that during the day it's super hot, but at night you're gonna be shivering.
That's true too.
Look at it from a business perspective. It's return on investment. 2 minutes versus 24 hours. Sign me up for the 2 minutes.
We got a general consensus. We all agree. I believe.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Because you know me, 5 minutes, I was out early on something else.
That's true. That's true. All right. Who is a better villain? Alonzo Harris, aka Denzel Washington's character from Training Day, or Nino Brown, aka Wesley Snipes from New Jack City?
Nino Brown, bro. Nino got some. Ain't nobody trying to say no Wesley Harris. Nino, everybody know I would be like Nino. What it is.
I mean, you're right. I think just on scale alone, Nino was a better person as far as a villain. Like, Nino just did it. You just did it differently. And last but not least, continuing our very popular and funny segment, would you rather be stuck on an island with no hope of rescue with North Korea's Kim Jong, so that weird sister that came out of nowhere, or Russia's Natalia, I'm not even going to butcher her last name.
Romanov.
Yeah, let's say Romanov. Let's make it Romanov. But the Natalia, I don't know if y'all saw the meme where they had like the two women across the table at the United table looking at each other really mean, the Asian one and the other one, because Natalia is actually Russia's like Secretary of State, so she's pretty goddamn powerful, but looks crazy as hell. But would you take Kim's craziness or Natalia's craziness? I know it's hard. You're basically picking it. Like for me, Kim does have the advantage of being slick, but at the same time, I feel like Natalia would kill me because she got a.
So you going with North Korea?
Sadly, yeah, I'm going with the devil I know, North
Korea. Yeah, why not? Let's go with North Korea.
I'm going with Russia just because like there's something about Russian people that seems like you just can't defeat them. So I'm going with Russia.
This man said, "Look, if I'm gonna get stuck on an island, maybe she'll warm up to me. You know, all the summer climate. She won't have to worry about there being bad times. She'll just be like, hey, you know, I can cool off here. And I mean, you guys got the rest of your theoretical lives to hang out, so you know, maybe you'll come to some sort of understanding." Or
see, I'm going through Natalia's pictures on Google Images. There's like a
Mhm.
model pic of her, and then like the rest of the pictures are just like her looking mean as shit. So
That's exactly it, man. She does look like she's got like one picture's like, oh, okay, cool, I can do it. Then you look at the rest of it. Wait a minute, nah, mm-mm. This ain't the same
Yeah.
woman. This woman looks like she bites dicks' heads off for plenty.
yeah. North Korea, I'm final answer.
Final answer, North Korea. All right, all right. Well, gentlemen, we definitely have enjoyed having both of you on the podcast. We are sorry that the writer had to drop a little bit earlier, but it
Bye
was
bye.
a really, really great time. We definitely got to have y'all back, and we definitely would like to join y'all sometime for y'all's podcast in the near future. Do you have anything, final words you want to say to the listeners, as well as to your own fans, because they'll likely be hearing this first?
They're gonna be like that green guy.
Thank you for having us on here. I believe Dupree said y'all like the audio's kind of choppy from here right now. But
Nah, you're good right now.
okay. Yeah, so from us, thank you for having us on here. Just give us a follow on our social media platforms. Our Twitter is in the lounge _pod, and our Instagram is in the lounge _podcast. The link is in the bio for our audio, where you can follow us on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, all that crazy shit. But shout out to Everyday Black Men. You guys are phenomenal. Very fucking funny. Can't wait to do this again in the future.